Hi everyone, this is Toyslab from Toyslab Creations. Today I'm going to be making these Gladiator Sandals for girls. You can see I've not attached my buttons. I've already made the right sandal, so I'm going to show the left sandal in this tutorial. So for this project I'm going to be needing light worsted weight yarn in 2 colors, 2 buttons, 3.5mm hook, tapestry needle and scissors. So to start, I'm going to be making the sole first. So I'm going to chain 29. This sandal is worked flat like all my other baby booties, and this size is for size 3 to 6 months. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 29. So go ahead and chain 29. I'll join when I'm through with my 29 chains. So I've chained 29. So for the first row of our sole, I'm going to skip the first chain from the hook, and into the second chain from the hook I'm going to make a single crochet. I'm going to make a single crochet into each chain across. So at the end of row 1 I'll have a total of 28 single crochets. Let's go ahead and do that, and I'll join you when I'm through with my row of single crochets. So I'm through with my first row of the sole and I have 28 single crochets. So moving on to row 2, I'm going to chain 2. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch. I'm going to make 2 half double crochet into the first stitch. That's 1 and 2. You may want to attach stitch marker to mark your stitch if you will have an issue with counting your stitches. So in the next 10 stitches I'm going to make 1 single crochet, I'm 1 half double crochet each in the next 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3. The free written pattern is available on my blog, and you can find the paid pattern in my Ravelry and Etsy store. The paid pattern contains 3 sizing options for 3 to 6 months, 6 to 9 months, and 9 to 12 months. That's 4.0, 4.5, and 5.0 inches. So let me count how many I have now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll make 3 more half double crochets. And the last one. So I've made 10 half double crochets now. So into the next 6 stitches I'm going to make 2 half double crochet each. So 1 and 2. So that's 2 half double crochet in the same stitch. I'll repeat that 5 more times, then make 1 half double crochet in the next 10 stitches, and into the last stitch of the row I'm going to make 2 half double crochets. So just go ahead and follow the instruction on the screen, and I'll join you when I'm through with row 2. I've made to the end of row 2 and I have 36 stitches in all. So moving on to row 3, which is the last row of the sole, I'm going to chain 2. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch. I'm going to make 2 half double crochet into the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then make 1 half double crochet into each stitch across until I get to the last stitch. I'm going to make 2 half double crochet into the last stitch of the row. So at the end of row 3 I have a total of 38 stitches. So just go ahead and follow the instruction on the screen, and I'll join you at the end of row 3. So I'm through with row 3 of the sole. So I just chain 1 and cut my yarn and left a long tail, so I'm going to use to sew it later. So for this pattern you need to make 4 soles. So I used 2 here, there's 1 here and there's 1 here. You can see I stitched them together here. So you're going to need to make 4 of these. So I'm going to start my left sandal now. So I'm going to be needing this yarn now. So I'm going to be starting with the back wood here, this part. So to do that I'm going to attach my yarn to either of the ends and then go into the first stitch here. I'll make a slip knot. I'll attach my yarn, chain 1 to secure, and then I'll make a single crochet in the same stitch and make a single crochet in the next 5 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we have 6 half double crochets, 6 single crochets in all. So for row 2 now I'm going to chain 2. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch. I'll turn my work and then make a half double crochet into each stitch across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So for rows 3 to 7, I'm just going to repeat row 2, make chain 2, and then make half double crochet into each stitch across. So I just go ahead and repeat row 2 for rows 3 to 7. I'll join when I'm through with row 7. So I've made it to row 7. So for the final row, which is row 8, chain 1, turn, then I'll single crochet into each stitch across. So 3, 4, 5, and the last one 6. So I'll just chain 1 and cut my yarn. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same thing on the other hand here. I'll attach my yarn to the end here and then repeat the instructions for rows 1 to 8 on this end. So I'll just go ahead and do that off camera, and I'll join you when I'm through with that. So I'm through with the second back hold now. So I'm going to be making the first strap now, this part. So to do that, I'm going to count 7 stitches from the back hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'll attach my yarn at that point. I'm going to be working on my straps from the right side for our left sandal. So I'm going to attach my yarn here, and then I'll chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Then I'll reach over to the other side and I'll count 7 stitches there too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And into the 7th stitch, I'm going to join my work with a slip stitch to the other end. So I'll chain 1, then I'll make a single crochet into each stitch across, into each chain back to the beginning. You have 12 single crochets in all. So I'll go ahead and do that. Once I get to the end, I'm going to join my work with a slip stitch to this end to chain 1, and then I'll cut my yarn. So just go ahead and make your single crochets. You have 12 single crochets in all, and I'll join when I'm through with my first strap. So I'm through with my first strap now. You can see you should have 12 stitches in between the straps and at the front here. So to make the second strap now, I'm going to count 5 stitches from the back hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to attach my yarn here. So I've already made the slip knot, so I'll just attach my yarn. Then I'm going to chain 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Then I'll reach over to the other side, and from the back, I'm going to count 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Into the 3rd stitch, I'm going to attach my work there. Chain 1, then I'll turn, and then I'll make a single crochet into each chain across. So I should have 13 single crochets there. So I just slip stitch back to the beginning, chain 1, and then cut my yarn. So I'll join when I'm through with my second strap. So I'm through with my second strap now. You can see there is a bit slant. So for the 3rd strap now, I'm going to count 3 stitches from the back hold on the right side. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to attach my yarn here, and then I'm going to chain 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And then I'm going to skip the first chain from the hook. I need the second chain from the hook. I'm going to make a single crochet, and I'm going to make a single crochet into each stitch till the end. So at the end I should have 15 single crochets. So I just slip stitch back to the end, chain 1, and cut my yarn. So just go ahead and do that. I'll join when I'm through with my 3rd strap. So I'm through with my 3rd strap now. This is it. So moving on to the fourth strap, I'm going to go to the top of row 7. This is our row 7 here, and this is the top of row 7. I'm going to attach my yarn at this point. Then I'll chain 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'm going to skip the first chain from the hook and into the second chain from the hook. I'm going to make a single crochet. So I make a single crochet into each chain across. So at the end I should have 13 single crochets. I'm going to slip stitch to the top of row 8 here. So just go ahead and do that, and I'll join you when I'm through with my fourth strap. So I'm through with my fourth strap. For my final strap, which is the fifth strap, I'm going to attach my yarn to the top of the fifth row. So row 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is row 5. So the top of row 5 is here. I'm going to attach my yarn there, and then I've already made a slip knot. So attach my yarn, and then I will chain 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. I'm going to skip 5 stitches, 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And into the 6th chain from the hook, I'm going to make a single crochet. So the skip stitches serves as our buttonhole. So I'm just going to continue with the single crochet into the remaining chain. So I should have 11 single crochets in all. And then I will slip stitch to the top of row 6 here, chain 1 and cut my yarn. So I'll join you when I'm through with the last strap. I'm through with my 5th strap now. You can see the buttonhole here. So the next thing to do now is to join the 3 straps. You can see how I joined it here. So I'm going to join the 4th and the 5th strap, and also the 5th and the 3rd strap. So to do that, I'm going to let me start with the 5th and the 4th strap first. I'm going to join. Remember, we have 5 chains that we left for our buttonhole. So the 2 on this side, there will be 2 here, 1 at the center, and then the 2 on the other side. So the 2 on this side, I'm going to join together with this. So I'm going to the first one there, and then I'll slip stitch both together. And then I'll go to the next one. Then I'll continue for the next 2 stitches for both strap. So with that, I've joined 4 stitches on both straps. So just chain 1, then cut my yarn, and I'll repeat the same thing for the 3rd and the 5th strap. The same way I'll join it for those 4 stitches. So I'll go ahead and do that off camera, and I'll join when I'm through with that. So I'm through with sewing the 3 straps together. So this is what we have so far. Lifting up my end so that you can see what we have better. So the next thing to do now is to sew the sole. So this is the part that's going to be inside the baby's foot. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be sewing on the other side. So I'm going to, with the right, this is the right side, with the right side facing. So I'm going to be sewing on the wrong side. I'll sew from this end all the way to this point. So I just attach my tapestry, and that was the reason why I left the end at the beginning. So I'll just go ahead and sew from this point all the way to this end. So I'll do it out of camera, and I'll come back. I'll join you when I'm through with that. So I'm through with sewing it, so you can see here. So the next thing to do is to sew the back hold together. So I'm going to be sewing inside so that it will be neat on the outside here. So I'm going to be sewing inside here. So with the left with the long tail that I left initially, I'm just going to sew from the top here all the way to this point. And I've also made my second sew, so I'll just go ahead and sew that too. So I'll join you when I'm through with sewing this and then sewing the sew too. So I'm through with sewing the back hood, and I've also sewn my other sew. So I'm going to attach both sew together now. So I'm going to count 6 stitches from this end. 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then I'll go through the 7th stitch. Remember we had 6 stitches on this side for the back hood. So let me count again. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is the 7th one. I'm going to go through both of them, then I'll attach my yarn with a slip stitch. Then I'll go into the next stitch, and then I'll make a slip stitch, and I'll continue in that manner through both sews all the way around. I'll join them all with slip stitches. So I'll go ahead and do that off camera, and I'll come back to show you what I have once I'm done. I've made all the way around, so I'm also do the last one. So I'll go through both sew and then make my last slip stitch. So I'll just pull the yarn up, and then I'll pull it all the way back down here, so you can see what it looks like. You can see the back too. So I just tie this part off here and weave in the ends there, and then I'll attach my button to the 6th row for both sandals, and I'll come back to show you. So I'm showing my sandals, and this is what we have so far. I hope you like it. So the only difference between the left and the right sandals is that for the right sandal, you're going to start your 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th strap from the left of the sandal, and it's going to close towards the right. The step for the first strap is the same. The instructions for the straps are also the same. The only difference is where you're going to start from. For the left sandal, you're going to start your straps from the right and to close towards the left. For the left sandal, you're going to start from the left and close towards the right. So for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th strap, you're going to start from the left. The first strap is the same for both sandal. You can find the free written pattern on my blog, and also the paid pattern that contains 3 sizing options in my Ravelry and Etsy shop. I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. If you did, please consider dropping a comment in the comment section below, and also if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in my next one. Bye.